I started business, that was 2016. Before that, graduate ako ng legal management, dapat magiging lawyer ako. Pero hindi natuloy. That extended yung pagtambay ko for a long time. Doon ako natuto pumarty, bisyo, mag-gym.
What was the steps that you took to okay, time to reset, time to fix my life?
I had a daughter at the age of 17. After that, sabi ko, sige na, mag-ayos na ako ng buhay. I set an intention. Parang ayoko na, tapos na ako dito. So I'm gonna do something, no matter how hard that revelation is. Just follow ano yung nina-nudge na gawin mo.
Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. My name is Alec Cuenca and I am your host. And before anything else, thank you so much for clicking on this episode. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast, whether you're on Spotify or you're on YouTube or you're sharing the podcast. Marami din ako nakikita nagki-clippers sa TikTok. So thank you guys to all of your support. And I'm just really happy. Isa sa mga nakukuha naming comments lately is that the guests are so inspiring. And I can't wait for you guys to hear this episode because today I'm talking to a person that I saw an ad on my Facebook account, and syempre nakita ko talaga yung abs niya. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I saw the abs, but when I dove deeper, I saw that this man is leading a movement, much more than talking about just fitness. He is, I could say, he is the Philippines' #1 growing community in terms of fitness and personal development. And more than that, if you've attended any of his programs, you know that it just works, right? But more than that, it's really transforming in a holistic approach pagdating sa mga tao. The transformations are wild. And I sincerely hope that this episode can teach you the best tips and tricks for you to get to your next level pagdating din sa fitness and sa overall life nyo. And I'm just so excited to welcome on the show Cho Lim. Cho, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Alec. Thank you everyone sa team for having me here. Yun lang, flattering introduction, but game, I'm here to give value.
Yeah. Sige, I'm gonna dive right in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to know the story. What got you into building Kaizen? Because I saw Kaizen, which is your #1 program.
Mm-hmm.
And the attendees on the webinar, I think umabot ng 6,000 people.
Yeah.
It was the first time nakakita ko ng ganong karaming tao sa Zoom.
Uh-huh.
Can you share what got you into that? Or what's the story, how you got to that point?
So I started business. Itong journey ko ng entrepreneurship, that was 2016. And before that, graduate ako ng legal management, dapat magiging lawyer ako. Pero hindi natuloy. So I had a lot of excuses. Kala ko kasi ganun-ganun lang yun na, mamimili ka lang ng profession mo, doctor, lawyer. Tapos parang naisip ko lawyer.
Okay.
Parang angas Tapos parang nakuha ko ng validation from the get-go. High school ako. So kala ko ganun lang. So pag-graduate ko ng college, hindi pala yun yung gusto ko. Actually, 3rd year pa lang bago ako graduate. Sabi ko, ayoko to. And then naghanap ako ng excuses. Luckily, not sure kung very fortunate ako doon na supportive ang parents. May pera, may kaya. So parang sinuport ako kahit wala akong work. Alam mo yung hindi ako napalo na parang kailangan mag-work kasi wala tayong makain. So that extended yung pagtambay ko for a long time. Siguro 4-5 years.
Wow. Okay.
Kaya doon ako natuto pumarty, bisyo, mag-gym. Ayun lang. Yung era lang na saya-saya lang, party-party lang. And then, dumating yung time na may anak ako. I had a daughter at the age of 17. Grade 1 siya noon. Parang umuwi ako that night. Tapos, ito yung turning point. Nagpatulong lang siya sa akin sa assignment niya. Sabi, Daddy, can you help me sa assignment ko? Tapos, pag-check ko, ang question niya doon, parang, what's your parents' occupation? And dun na nagsabay-sabay yung guilt ko, yung shame, yung ano. And then after that, sabi ko, sige na, mag-ayos na ako ng buhay. And trinay ko mag-employee. Hindi talaga. Siguro longest ko 5 months. And yung 3 months pa, training lang yun. So nung time na yun, sabi ko, sige, pupursue ko na yung alam kong ginagawa ng iba. Yung mayaman siya sa internet. And then I bought a course.
This was back in
2015 siguro.
15.
Mhm.
You saw people on the internet making money.
Yeah, kasi bumibili ako mga e-books, sa fitness. And then, yung nag-decide ako dun sa moment na yun na sige, ayusin ko na. Magpapayama, aralin ko tong digital marketing po yung tawag ko. Tapos may lumabas sa ads ko na course. It's affiliate marketing mastery yung title niya. And then I asked my mom to buy it. And then sabi ko, I'm putting all the eggs in this basket. Gagawin ko lahat ng sabihin niya. And then yun, nag-run through ako dun sa course. Then tinuruan ako, mag-isip daw ako, ano mang kaya mong ituro sa mga tao. Tapos parang ako, mag-gym. Mag-gym, tapos pumarty. Tapos nag-check ako, meron doon na lesson na punta ko sa GoDaddy ata yun. Check this dom. Di yun, creative side ko, lumabas siya. Tapos nag-reflect lang ako, ano bang trait ko? Lazy. Tapos yun na, nag-experiment ako. Until lumabas si Lazy Lifter. Wow. Parang nag-gym ako, pero tamad ako. Alam mo yung paradoxical combination na yun. Tapos doon na ako natalon sa fitness. Yeah. And my first product back then, hindi pa siya Kaizen eh. It's called Minimalist Fitness. Yeah, MF. And doon ko na-discover talaga yung passion ko sa not just transforming myself, but others. Fast forward, tumagal si MF ng 4, 5 years, 6 years, okay siya. Nakakaproduce ko ng hundreds, thousands of transformations. Tapos feeling ko, graduate ako sa fitness side. Parang feeling ko, hindi siya yung fulfilling na siguro para sa akin, yung journey ko as someone na nag-undergo sa fitness to solve his insecurity problem, napansin ko na yung na-solve ko na siya, nagka-abs ako, ba't parang gano'n? Ba't parang hindi pa ako tapos? Hindi pa yun yung fulfillment ko, hindi pa yun yung pag-level up na gusto ko. So yun, napunta ko sa personal development. Okay. And then, dumating na lang yung araw na napag-combine ko siya into Kaizen.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. Una-una nagulat ako sa 4-year gap. The 4-year gap na talagang you were just... And I think I'm really curious about that. I took a 3-month gap. Mm-hmm. Like a 3-month to do like partying, yung mga ganong stuff. And then I decided to like click that reset. And then doon naman ako napunta sa personal dev. But for you, it was like 4 years, 5 years. Yeah. And then the question na tinanong sa'yo nung anak mo, like change the perspective. Mm-hmm. What was the steps that you took to like, time to reset, time to fix my life?
So the first one, so yung steps na ginawa ko to go from the tambay, rock bottom na bisyo, drugs, kasi napunta ko sa season na yun. So the first one is I set an intention. Yun lang na parang ayoko na dito. I'm tired of this shit. Parang ayoko na, tapos na ako dito. So I'm gonna do something. So parang may nag-open up, diba? Spiritually speaking, may nag-open sa akin na ayun na, lumabas na yung algo na okay, sige, bilhin mo tong course. So that was the second one na pinakita sa akin yung vehicle na paano ako makapunta sa next steps. Then yun, yung pinuntahan ko yung course na yun lang, nagsabi ko lang, all in ako na lahat ng sabihin nito, gagawin ko siya. And then yun, I just bet all of my everything. Kasi iniwan ko yung friends ko noon, lumayo talaga ako, change environment.
Did it happen slowly or was it like, guys, sorry?
Yeah, parang ganun talaga.
Ayusin ko na yung buhay ko. Like, did you tell them na you were, or was it a more natural na parang wala ka ng oras sa kanila?
Hindi, wala namang official na ganun. Pero kasi, syempre, pag nasa bisyo era kayo, tapos circle of friends kayo, alam nyo, you understand each other na meron kayong desire na ayaw na natin to. Pero alam mo yun, hindi natin mapigilan. So ako, nauna lang ako sa kanila. So yun siguro, first step is the intention. The second is yun lang, being receptive sa i-reveal sa'yo.
Yeah.
no matter how hard that revelation is.
Yeah.
And I know, just follow ano yung nina-nudge na gawin mo.
Okay.
Mhm.
So if I'm getting this right, you set an intention and then you were open and you were receptive
Mhm.
into what the universe or what God is like giving you signs or
Uh-huh.
signals, and then you went all in.
Yup. Pero syempre that time, wala pa akong alam. So, looking back, ganun yung nangyari. Pero that time, parang wala, hindi ko alam.
Siguro ang question ko is like, a lot of people set their intentions.
Uh-huh.
Parang, okay, sige, mag-set ako ng intentions. But what I love what you shared around being receptive and being open. Now, ngayon, looking back, like, what do you think? Kasi ako, feel ko na yun yung nagsiseparate eh. Like, a lot of people, okay, ready na mag-all in, but they're not open, they're not, and you mentioned that it was also like a spiritual kind of thing on your end.
Yeah.
Can you share how can you become more receptive and more open to what the universe wants for you?
Okay. So, yung banggit, pasadahan natin, sinabi mo na, sige, all in na ako, di ba? Ready to manifest, ready to go all in sa kung anumang path ni universe, ni God. Pero hindi nila alam na parang, ang hirap kasi ng distinction between, dito ba talaga ako nina-nudge o ito yung ego ko of saying na it wants control. Kasi ako marami akong ganun eh, na kala ko, nudge, yun pala yun yung fears ko talking. So yun medyo mahirap na distinction kasi you just get the difference via experience lang eh. So hindi siya lagi na kung ano yung mahirap, hindi rin siya lagi kung ano yung madali.
Yeah.
But ang masasabi ko lang doon, whatever path na piliin mo, mapupunta ka pa rin dun sa gusto mo. Yung suffering lang, yun lang yung mag-iiba.
So parang one way or another you're gonna get to that point, pero it's may mga path na medyo mas malala yung suffering.
Yep, yun lang. So wag kayong mag-alala, mapupunta pa rin naman kayo doon. Parang ito yung share ko lang. Chat GPT ko nung na Claude na rin. Parang kausap ko sila lagi. Sabi ko, bakit si Michael Jordan, example, si Steve Jobs, paano nila naabot yung vision nila? Ang prerequisite lang ba is you just have to have a strong vision.
Yeah.
Tapos kahit maging asshole ka, kahit maging jerk ka, maabot. Tapos parang yun yung conclusion ko na yes, big factor is yung conviction mo doon sa vision mo. But yung alignment papunta doon, yun yung magde-determine kung gaano kasarap yung journey mo doon sa vision na yan.
Ang ganda. Okay, ang ganda nun. Na parang, you can be successful. And, shout out mo. Dito nga sa Pilipinas, di ba? Billion yung nakuha ng mga tao. Like, you can go that route eh.
Yep.
But along the way, will you hurt other people? Will you hurt yourself along the process? Or will you become really receptive and open to see na, hey, actually, itong path na to mas okay para sa'yo. And for you, it was the lazy lifter. Which is, by the way, ang ganda ng pangalan. Ang ganda ng pangalan. Sobrang creative. Lazy lifter. Kasi for you, tamad ka, pero nagbubuhat ka. Here's my question. A lot of people, well, of course, pagdating sa pagbubuhat or sa fitness, discipline is correct me if I'm wrong, like discipline is the number one trait for you to become successful in it. Yet, nakakabit sa pangalan mo yung word na lazy. Can you share what's that all about?
Okay, so add ako doon, discipline is just a factor, but it is not the factor. Kasi kailangan mo ng tamang knowledge to be disciplined about, to be disciplined with. Kasi kung mali ginagawa mo, di ba, parang yun nga yung dinedebunk namin sa mga programs, na no matter how disciplined you are, hindi pa rin siya gagana eh. So, it's finding the 80-20, the Pareto principle. Tama ba?
Yeah,
Pareto
principle.
Pareto principle. It's finding that 20% ng actions, ng behaviors mo, ng strategy mo, ng tactics mo na gumagana, that will give you the 80%. So, lazy lifter is, ang tagline niya, get fit doing less. Kasi ang opposition niya is the hardcore aspect of the fitness side na you have to do cardio, you have to train every day, you have to eat bland food, you have to eat chicken breast and broccoli.
Yeah.
With proper knowledge, maiintindihan natin na hindi naman pala totoo yun. You can eat whatever you want. Ayun lang, you just have to apply the right knowledge consistently. Hindi mo kailangan yung totally grind approach. So yun, kaya siya na naging lazy kasi it's just picking the most effective or most right based on science as of now. Yun lang yung gawin mo.
Yeah. Kasi yung mga lazy na tao, sila yung mga naghahanap ng paraan. Paano ba natin mapapadali to?
Yeah.
Or ano ba yung pinaka-effective na paraan para gawin to? Kasi there's a lot of ways. But what are the most... Hindi ko alam kung anong quote yun or joke yun na parang kapag... Parang, basta may ganun pag sa tamad eh.
Give something to, if you want things done, give it to a lazy person.
They'll have it done. Diba? Matatapos nila yan pag pinigin mo. But, okay. You mentioned that it's not just about discipline. It's also about knowledge. Okay. I'm excited for this. Like, break it down for me. What are the most common misconceptions around becoming the fittest version of yourself?
Okay. Misconception, una ko naisip, syempre, sa Philippines tayo, yung bawal daw yung rice. Ako, I'm a very, very rice person. Yun yung marketing ko dati na ilang rice, siguro 3 rice, siguro pancit canton, tas may abs. So kasi dati, ngayon, prevalent pa rin yung mga misconceptions. Pero dati talaga, sobrang lala kasi wala namang internet dati. Diba? Walang Google dati, walang ChatGPT dati. So yun number 1. Kailangan mo iwasan ng carbs para pumayat.
Can you explain? Like, it's still, hindi pa rin siya nag-ano sa akin. Like,
okay.
Sobrang inaano ko pa rin siya na parang, talaga, hindi ko kailangan.
So
pwede yun? Okay, go.
Pasok tayo sa science, law of thermodynamics, calories in, calories out. If nagtatrack tayo ng calories, yun lang talaga yung basihan ng weight loss at saka weight gain. So, in simple terms, meron tayong tinatawag na calorie maintenance. Maintenance calories. When you're, for example, I eat at 2.5, 2.6 calories. So, if I eat that amount, kahit saan ko siya kunin, donut, chocolate, chicken breast, salad, if I eat that amount for 1 week, hindi tataas timbang ko, hindi bababa timbang ko. If I eat below that, let's say I eat at 1.7 in whatever way, donut, chocolate, papayat ako. On the other hand, if I eat above that, kesyo avocado yan, kesyo lahat ng healthiest food, doon tayo magigain ng weight. So yun yung usapan na weight gain, weight loss, weight maintenance perspective. It's not, we're not talking about
macro,
health. Kasi ibang usapan yun eh.
Kasi kung kumain ka naman ng maraming donut, you're still gonna be unhealthy. Even if you lose weight.
Yep. And conversely, if you eat a lot of avocados, if you drink a lot of milk, tapos tumataba ka, kahit puro healthy yung kinakain mo, hindi rin man siya healthy kasi, di ba? Part ng health is yung mental, na pag hindi mo na-achieve yung goals mo, tapos na-frustrate ka, nagiging toxic ka, di ba? hindi.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yun yung weight loss, weight gain perspective.
Yeah. Okay, now I get it. First one, it's not about the rice.
No.
What are some other misconceptions?
Second one, you have to train daily. You have to work out daily. So, hindi siya entirely true. Una muna, you have to exercise to lose weight. So, hindi rin. Kasi matter pa rin yung calories. Babalik tayo sa calories.
Okay.
So, exercise is just a way to burn calories. Pero if nababawi mo siya sa pagkain, hindi ka talaga mag-lose ng weight. So, hindi exactly true yung lakas mo kumain, tas nababurn mo naman eh. Hindi.
Okay.
Kasi imagine mo, ito, Jollibee Champ Burger.
Okay.
Hindi ko sure 700 calories yata, 800, 600. Ganyan.
Talaga? Ang laki naman pala.
Yeah, and for you to burn that amount, kailangan mo tumakbo siguro mga 1 hour or more.
I think, ang nakakatakot din, meron ako nakita like KitKat ata or Snicker, and then you need to jog like for 30 minutes to 1 hour.
Ganun. So, hindi. Kasi imagine mo, champ burger lang, lagyan mo pa ng fries, lagyan mo pa ng chicken joy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So, hindi siya yung merely na, ibaburn mo naman yung bukas. No.
Hindi siya ganun.
Yan.
So
yun yung second
Okay.
misconception.
And how do you I want to learn more around parang una pala na-realize ko kaya pala kahit yung mga malalakas mag-basketball di ba mga inasal pagkatapos, di ba? And then mababurn naman nila. So is there a healthy number or like frequency of exercise that you would recommend, or is it depending on your case?
So, ang sagot lagi dyan is always it depends. Pero ang main principle to follow, whether that's dieting, that's working out, is pick a way na you can stick with for a long time. So, let's say you're doing no rice. If you will ask yourself, can I live like this forever? If the answer is yes, then that's sustainable for you. But if not, if parang kaya ko to ng 100 days lang, no, that's not a good strategy for me. So what we teach inside Kaizen, tsaka sa ibang naming programs is yun nga, piliin mo yung way mo.
Okay.
Huwag mo tanggalin lahat ng paborito mo. Kasi yan yung, kumbaga, yun ang papasaya sa'yo. Enjoy is a factor sa engagement, sa sustainability.
Okay.
So, ang quote namin lagi is sustainability over intensity.
Okay.
Kasi intensity will last you just like, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you circle back. But if you can find the way to sustain it, kahit mabagal, turtle versus rabbit. Yeah, you can do it for a long time.
So really sustainability more than everything.
Yeah.
How long have you been working on your fitness?
Started 17. Yeah. So half of my life. 16 years.
16 years. Like really into the fitness. So and you're saying that joy is very, very important.
Yeah, very important. Parang that di ba, alam mo yun, Alec, na two polar opposites na discipline, freedom, discipline, rest. They're both important. You just have to discern kailan mo sila gagamitin parehas.
Yeah.
Hindi siya either or. Parang hindi siya bad. Hindi siya...
Okay. I have a question about the program. Kasi you mentioned na it's really about sustainability. And I guess this is also like questions people have when they're looking for like a coaching program or something that they would join. Like, hey, I would do it for like 3 months. I've seen a lot of amazing results in Kaizen as well. But I'm just thinking, like, are there people, or siguro ang isang question is, like after the Kaizen, what, ano na?
Yeah.
Right? Isn't Kaizen more on the intensity side? Like, can you enlighten me on that? And how do you make sure na even people attend your program and do it for 100 days, they still get to do it sustainably? Okay.
So the first factor the first element na tinuturo sa Kaizen is yung very crucially important is not the how, but it's the principles eh. Yung, let's say, mindset, personal development. Kasi without those, hindi ka tatagal eh. Parang short, ano ba yung katumbas sa business? Get rich quick scheme. If all you teach is the how to eat, how much protein, how much calories, hindi eh. Kasi, tingnan mo ngayon, di ba? Parang very, very easy access na tayo sa lahat ng good information. Pero padami pa rin ng padami yung obese, yung mga insecure sa physical body nila. Kasi knowledge is not the answer. It's much more. Let's say the community, the environment, people you surround yourself with. So yun yung parang naging base ng Kaizen na for you to show up as your version 2, yung tawag namin sa best version, sa ideal version mo, you have to be around people na magsusupport dyan. Hindi kayo judge, na safe yan. So yun yung number 1. Second namin is the knowledge. Once you learn the knowledge, let's say natuto ka na Alec na, hindi pala kailangan mag-keto, hindi pa kailangan mag-ano. Yeah. Diba? It's yours for life. So parang kahit tapos ka na sa Kaizen, you can do it on your own. Pero marirealize mo kasi like other Kaizen students na shit, very important pala yung environment.
Yeah.
Shit, kala ko enough na yung knowledge. Kala ko kaya ko mag-isa. But
Yeah.
the habits, lagi ko sinasabi sa kanila, 30, 40 plus years kang carrying that old habit.
Yeah.
You can just expect to eradicate all of that in just 100 days. That's why a lot of people re-enroll.
Yeah, I see that. Na even if they're already finished with Kaizen, they come back. And then because I think the big part there is the community.
Yep. And yung medyo Maslow's. Parang first layer, survival. Siguro first layer nila, ganun din. Survival, physical. Paanta ba ako? Insecure ako. Second season is nasa mas mataas na stage ka na. Yan, na you want to, I'm doing this forever. For my family, for my until man doon ka sa actual self-actualization. Nagsimulang, I want to pay it forward. I want to give back. I want to coach the people. Kasi gets ko yung pinagdaanan nila. Ganyan ako dati. So, ganun yung layering niya na, it's the same program, but the experience you get, it's
different.
Yeah, it's different.
Of course, if you already got the result, you can now share it and pass it to other people.
Yeah. And isang factor pa dun is getting fit and staying fit. Magkaiba sila.
Okay,
Yeah, you can get fit. You can cut for 100 days. You can get that abs. Pero yung maintenance nun, yung staying fit, yung next phase nun.
Yeah.
Kasi you can just, okay, tapos na ako. Move on to the next. Diba?
100 days. Yun yung parang ako rin na natatakot. Even with our coaching programs, pagdating sa content creation, like, okay, we teach you for this stuff, but after nito, ayoko na biglang hindi ka na magko-content. Like, what's the point? Diba? In all of our programs, that's also something that we want to address. That's why when people ask, like, bakit mga uma-attend din ng mga programs ko pagdating sa content creation, it's more like, ba't ang basic na tinuturo nyo? Like, it's basic para magamit nyo siya habang buhay. Hindi na kayo mag-umaga. But yeah,
exactly.
I get that point. Something that interests me with what you also shared kanina is that you integrated personal development. And you mentioned as well na mindset is one of, parang kung kahit you have the knowledge, you have the discipline, or if you don't have that mindset, mali din. Let's start with what are the wrong mindsets that you see from people that's why hindi nagiging sustainable for them, hindi successful for them on journey nila.
Okay, so sa Kaizen, there are 15 weeks in 100 days. Pag binilang mo yung fitness lessons dyan, parang like 3 lang.
Talaga?
Yeah. So yun yung proud ako kaya siya, di ba, tagline is more than just fitness. Ang mali na nakikita ko sa mga fitness gurus is all they teach is fitness. Para sa akin, that's just 20% of the equation, whole transformation equation. So the other parts, yung 80%, yun nga, behavioral design, science, personal development, emotional management. So what are those wrong mindsets na napansin ko sa mga tao? Number 1, yung lesson 5 to ng Kaizen, yung tinitreat nila yung, we call it dip. Yung losing motivation, losing novelty. Kasi fitness, you have to do it. You have to do the boring stuff for a lot many times. Di ba? Many months.
Yeah.
So the dip is inevitable. Parang, nakakatamad na, walang gana. So ang wrong mindset doon is hanap ka ulit, shiny object. Not sticking to what you're currently doing. Sabi nga ni Alex Hormozi, lahat naman yung gagani. 'Di ba? Mag-stick ka lang, habaan mo lang. So yun yung when they experience dip, they judge the program, they judge themselves. Although pwede namang mali talaga yung program, pero yung aha moment sa mga clients namin doon, yung understanding lang, normal pala to. No matter what I do, no matter what program I use, dadaan ako. Imagine, ang dinemo ko sa kanila noon, sige, lipat kang program, stop ka.
Yeah.
And dadaan ka ulit sa cycle. Di ba? Parang sayang lang.
Can you explain the dip? Can you explain it further or more na when does it happen? And then how do you prepare yourself? How do you manage dip?
Okay. So, it happened. Ako, okay. First 1 to 2 weeks, yan yung pwedeng honeymoon stage. Parang hype na hype ka. Okay, New Year, new me.
Okay, New Year's
Buong
resolution.
January. And then, pagdating ng weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, ang estimate ko lagi 4 to 6. 3 to, depende sa tao. Doon ka na makaka-experience yung nakakatamad na, boring na siya. Mas malakas na yung hatak nung version 1 ko, yung old version ko. Mas malakas na hatak nung old habits.
Yeah.
Kasi wala na yung hype mo dito sa newness. Kasi ang lakas ng motivation nun yung novelty na yun. So, ayun, weeks 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
And then, what do you do pag nandoon ka na?
Yeah.
So, meron akong nilista doon na mga ways how to combat dip. Dalawa yun Kinategorize ko siya na parang decrease reasons to stop and increase reasons to keep going. Wow. So, may mga nilagay ako doon na i-track mo yung habits mo.
Yeah.
Kasi may dopamine, yung makita mo yung progress. And then, setting up rewards sa sarili.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Rewards na hindi siya sabotaging sa progress. And then, immersing sa community even more. Sharing hindi lang yung mga hacks but also yung personal. Kasi when you're doing it alone, 'di ba, ang daling ayoko na. But when ang analogy ko dito yung pasok ka sa party. Diba, parang pag nasa labas tayo ng bar, inom tayo, madali tayo umuwi. Pero pag pumasok ka sa party, diba, parang gusto mo na umuwi, pero hindi, mamaya ka na. So, gano'n. Oo. Tapos natapos yung party. So, gano'n yung lagi ko sa kanila na if you're experiencing low motivation, that's the more reason na mag-immerse ka dito. Gamitin mo lahat ng resources ng Kaizen.
Ang ganda nun. Sobrang, I'm geeking out because it has all the elements of personal development into one specific goal, which is fitness. But I do believe that the principles there, like yung science of habit or psychology of habit, you can apply it to any aspect of your life.
Planning, gano'n, yung mga tinuturo ko.
Even in business na parang, okay, ayaw magtrabaho, okay, decrease the things that could make you not work and then increase the things that could make you more excited. Sobrang galing. Sobrang nakakatuwa talaga yung program mo. And I do, like, by the way, also your newsletters, like, crazy. Like, I get so hooked every time I read the newsletters. But also it's because of the transformation. Ang dami talagang natatransform.